Hey everybody, welcome to week 11 of our cleaning, and it's March 18th, and this week we are going to be working on making things a little bit easier for us and giving us a little bit of free time, hopefully extra time. And to do that, first thing we're going to do is declutter and clean out all of the cleaning supplies and tools. Now, if you're like me, over the years you've collected a bunch of different cleaning products and tools. Some of them work, some of them don't work. What you need to do is, if you have multiple bottles of the same thing, combine that stuff together so that's in 1 or 2 bottles instead of 6 little bottles that are half empty or half full. And watch where you store them. If you have young children at home, or you have young children that visit, make sure that you have all your cleaning supplies together in a child lock cabinet so they can't get into it. I'm lucky enough, or unlucky enough, however you want to put it, not to have any small children around. So what I do is I have all my cleaning supplies in the room that I'm going to be using them in. Like the kitchen supplies are in the kitchen, the bathrooms are in the bathrooms, and laundry room is in the laundry room, so I don't have to go hunting for everything. If I want to clean a spot, I can just reach down underneath the cabinet, grab the cleaner, and clean it, which works fine as long as there's no small children. Now the brooms and the vacuums and stuff, I try to keep them, the brooms and mops go into the cleaning closet. Now when I was a kid, my mom had a cleaning closet that was like 4 foot by 4 foot, and she had her awning board and all her crafts supplies and her broom and her mop and bucket. That's all she had. Eventually she got a sweeper when she got carpet, but when she just had tile floors and stuff and linoleum, she didn't need the carpet sweeper. So I thought my little space, which is 2 foot by 2 foot at the most, would be good enough for my cleaning supplies. Wrong. The carpet cleaner itself takes up the whole space. So, and when I started out a long time ago in the 70s, we had central vac put in, and most people don't even know what a central vac is nowadays. But central vac is where you have the vacuum itself located in either the basement or the garage. Ours was in the garage, and you had ductwork all throughout the house where you just plug in the hose into the ductwork and it automatically turned on the vacuum, and you vacuumed the rooms. You just moved the hose from one outlet to the other, which worked fine back then. But then we had a lightning storm or something, and it knocked out some of the vacuum. It made it so that you had to go actually out into the garage and turn the vacuum on, because it wouldn't turn on just by plugging the hose in anymore. And that became a hassle, because then you had to fight the covers, because the vacuum's sucking them in. You had to fight them to get them open so you could stick the hose in. Plus you had to drag the hose all around the room. And so that system, I still have the hose, I still have the vacuum head, but the system's pretty much obsolete nowadays. With the cordless vacs, you don't have to drag a cord around, you just walk around. And now with the robo vacs and mops, you don't even have to do anything except touch a button on your phone or touch a button on the remote, and that little robot does what you want to. It either vacuums, or it vacuums and mops, or it just mops. And so it eliminates the need for a big vacuum. I've inherited 2 vacuums, so I've got like 2 cord vacuums and a cordless vacuum, plus the robot and the big system. So it's fine. It's hard finding spots to keep all these. I don't really want to get rid of anything, because the cord ones are got 3 different stories. I can put one on each story, and the robot one is on the main floor with the hardwood floors and the tiles. It does best on that. It can do carpet, but it's not as well on carpet, so I use the cordless on the carpet. And the carpet cleaner is upstairs because that's where all the carpets mainly are. It was well used when Shoes was still alive, because when she was sick, we had to but shampoo the carpet every other week. But now that she has passed and we have a new puppy, we don't have to clean it every other week. We only have to clean it maybe 3-4 times a year. Back to normal. And so I got all those, which will not fit into that little space. So I had to find other spaces to put it. And then we got old brooms. If your broom is tore up and stuff, get rid of it, get a new one. Realize how many brooms you need. You need 5 brooms when, we have like one for each story, one for out in the garage, and one for outside. Okay? And sponge mops. Are you keeping those sponge mops that are rusty, or you can't find the replacement head for them, so you buy a new one, but you kept the old one because I might just find that spot? No, get rid of them. Just have one, and evaluate whether a sponge mop is really the best mop for your floors. It's not for mine. For my tile, the sponge mops, the tile just tears up the grout lines, just tear up those sponge mops. And they're not very good for concrete either. That tears them up. So there's really no need for me to have a sponge mop. The only reason I use a sponge mop is on the hardwood floor, and I find out, I'd say 9 out of 10 times I actually mop that floor with either on my hands and knees with a regular sponge, or I use the robot cleaner. So I really don't need a sponge mop. So get rid of that, and that's one thing out of the way. I do keep a string mop for the puppy's room and for the basement. They're both concrete rooms, and that works. The string mop works best on them. I have a steam mop that I use for the tile and for the hardwood. So I really don't need a sponge mop anymore. So I can get rid of those. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to clean out and declutter our tools. Anything that's not working and it can't be fixed, we're getting rid of it. Anything that we don't really use anymore and doesn't work, we're not going to keep. So I'm still keeping the vacuum head and hose for the time being, just because it does work, and if I have to in a pinch, I can use it. And then we're going to try to sit down, and we're going to go through everything that we do in a day. Just write everything down that you do every day. And I have like 28 things that I do every day. And then you write down what you do weekly. And I have 5 things on that list. So I'm taking 15 minutes and writing down, making these 2 lists. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go through that list one by one, and we're going to decide, do I really need to do this, or are my children or the adults that are living with me, are they capable of doing this? And we're going to make a chart for the kids, not so much for the adults, but for the kids, or make a chart for what they should be doing each day. And you might have to supervise them, make sure they get it done, but it's them doing it and learning to take care of the house. And like the first thing I have on my list is to make the beds every morning. Well, I don't make the boys' beds. They're adults. They can make their own beds. So the only bed I have to worry about is my own. And my husband and I usually make that first thing in the morning together. And then I feed the fish. And that is my job alone, because fish are very, very susceptible to being overfed. So I make sure I take care of the fish myself. We have 2 cuckoo clocks, and whoever happens to be walking by those clocks first thing in the morning gets to wind them. I check when I walk by and see if it's wound. If it's wound, I keep on going. If not, I wind it. And then we open all the curtains and the blinds. That's the job for whoever gets downstairs first. And if you see someone's doing it, you help and finish, doing the other ones. Start the coffee. Everybody starts their own breakfast. Bill does the toast for us, and everyone else gets their own. Feed the bird. Again, that's my job because I don't want to overfeed it, but anybody can uncover it. The snake, again, that's mine. No one wants to mess with Artie. The dishwasher, if the light's on, says everything's clean. Whoever happens to notice that light gets to put the dishes away. It's an off. Anybody can do it. Walking and training the dog. That's mainly my responsibility. I have to also teach everyone else in the family the commands that the dog knows, and they all get to play with her. What else? Oh, checking on the cats. Now the cats, I try to check them in the morning, and at night we feed them. And it's usually either Chris and I or Bill and I go over there and take care of it together. Very seldom do I have to go and take care of the cats by myself. Release the chicken and put the chicken up at night and feed it. That's my job. No one else seems to want to do the chicken. Everybody is in charge of their own lunches, so I don't have to do lunch. And everyone helps clear the table. They take their plates and they put them in the kitchen, and my husband rinses them and puts them in the dishwasher, or hands them to me and I put them in the dishwasher. It's a family affair. Everyone does their job. They pitch in. Then I usually take the dog out and walk and train it again. And then it's time for fixing dinner. And fixing dinner is a rotating basis. I do most of the work, but there are days that the boys will take care and fix their own food, or they'll go out and get something, bring in like a pizza. So it's a rotating basis. I don't always have to fix food. And they pick their day that they want to contribute to they'll look at the menu and see what I've got written, and they'll say, well, I can do that, or I don't want that, let's have something else. Anyway, they take care of some of the dinner. And again, clearing the table, putting the dishwasher away. And then feeding the dog. That's basically my job because she's on a special diet. And then we have to close all the curtains. And my husband does that. He closes all the curtains and blinds every night. And we both go around and do a security check. He checks it, and then I check it right before I go to bed. After everyone's gone to bed, I'll go through the house and straighten everything up so that it looks nice the next morning, so I don't have to come down and look at a mess. And then I will walk around and make sure everything is locked up, and I will start the dishwasher so the next morning all the dishes will be clean and we can unload it. So that's what we do on a daily basis. And weekly, we do laundry. Everyone does their own laundry. I only do household items and my husband and my things. Sweep and dust. I do the downstairs and Chris does the upstairs. Mopping the floors. Again, I do the downstairs, Chris does the upstairs, and the robot does the rest. Dust. Same thing, upstairs, downstairs. And clean bathrooms. Everyone cleans their own bathroom. So, what you can do is you can make a chart. Look at these things and see what your kids could do, and make a chart for them. When kids were little, I used a whiteboard, and I would use a chalk or one of those markers for the whiteboard, and I'd make little stars each day that they did their job. So that is one way that you can make a little bit of time for yourself. Just delegate the different chores out to different people. And then we're going to get rid of everything that we decluttered. All those cleaning tools that we didn't need, the bottles that are empty, that we've combined things, old products that just did not work, And that's how come there's so many different cleaning products on the market. Some of them don't work. They'll work for one person because their water may be different than what your water is. And this cleaner just doesn't work for that type of water. And so if you've got some cleaners that just do not work at all, just get rid of them. There's no need to have them in the house. And if they work just a little bit, you might use them for spot cleaning. But the thing is to use them up as quickly as possible and make a note that you don't want to buy those again. So we're going to get rid of those. Any large appliance, like if you have a freezer that's gone out, a sweeper that doesn't work, a stove that needs to be replaced, replace it. Have the old one taken away. Get rid of any large appliances. If you've got space heaters that don't work, get rid of them. Anything that is not usable for you and that you won't be using, get rid of. Either trash it or donate it. If it still works and it's just not fits into your lifestyle anymore, then donate it. But get it out of the house. And then like I said, arrange for yourself to have for things to be picked up, for the large appliances to be picked up, and take the rest to the recycling place or the donation place and just get rid of them. So it's a lot of work, but mainly it's just sitting down and figuring out what you do and trying to see if anyone else in your family can help you get it done, so you can have a little bit of free time, a little bit of time just to yourself to do what you want to do, whether it be reading, painting, just sitting on the porch, relaxing, whatever it is. Try to find a little bit of time for yourself each day. So, like, share, subscribe, and get busy. Dream big, follow that dream, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.